Hello, I'm Becky Saif. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to one of the most exciting new distortion plugins and tools out there. And I downloaded it 2 months ago, and I actually didn't install it until I was live on my Twitch stream and thought, hey, I haven't done this yet. Let me install it and see what it does to my bass in my project. And oh my days. Why didn't I install this sooner? It is insane. If you want to wait till the end of the video for me to tell you whether you should get this or not get it, screw that. I'm going to tell you that you need to get this because it really does take your sounds and makes them into something beautiful. Sonically, characteristically, beautiful. It's called Rift, and I will leave you a link to the distortion tool in the description so that you can get your hands on it. All right, so let's jump into Ableton. I have some tracks here that I've just put together for the purpose of this video, and we have an 808 which I've synthesized inside of Serum. If you do want to learn more about synthesis, I do have a Serum sound design course also in the description as well. But this is a very basic 808 if we play it, and if we play it with the rest of the track. So it sounds all right. It sounds like it fits and it works well. But this is where the beauty of Rift comes in. Rift is insane. We have nothing else on the chain. We just have a utility plugin. But this is the basic view of Rift. So you have on the left-hand side, positive shape, and on the right-hand side, negative shape. So this is basically changing the characteristics of the positive polarity of the waveform, and this is changing independently the characteristics of the negative polarity of the waveform. So what we're doing is we're distorting independently both the positive and the negative. So that's something quite unique to Rift, and it creates some interesting and really cool sounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press play on the track, and I'm going to cycle through the drop-down menus here so that you can hear what this plugin is actually doing. You can see in the window in the visual display that we're processing the positive and the negative separately from each other, and the amounts are also varying from the positive and the negative as well. But if you wanted to link the amount of wave shape affecting both the positive and negative, and you wanted them to move together the same amount, you just press the link button here. And now if we move the controls, you'll see that they're moving together. Come up to the top row and you can see that we have the option to increase the drive. You also have a 2x control. You have a blend control, so you can blend between the positive and the negative. This is really interesting. You can have up to 6 different stages of processing. Also have hard or smooth mode. You have your output volume, and you also have a dry wet. So if you wanted it to just process a part of the signal, you could just bring the dry wet down. Down the bottom, we have the macros. So this works like macros that you've probably seen before in Ableton and other plugins, where you can drag and drop onto different parameters and then increase the amount using the crosshair as to how much you want it to be increased, and then you can now automate using the macro. So you can see you can get a lot out of just the basic view of Rift there. But now we're going to go into the more complex view. And this is where stuff gets real crazy and interesting. So down the bottom here, just click here. And now you have the more advanced view. So we've already gone through Drive. We now have the option to trim. In the distortion section, we have everything that we've seen already, as well as now an option to process the wide, mid-side, mid, or sides. So you can really hone in on your processing. Your output and your dry wet are the same. You have the positive shape, you have the negative shape. Down here, you have feedback, which is basically the signal that is feedbacking in on itself, and it's creating this kind of flanging sound. So if we activate the feedback, you also have the option for ping pong. Over here, you have the option for a filter. You have pre or post filter, and you can select your filter types here at the top and cycle through. At the moment, we have a morph and spread option. You also have a cutoff and a resonance control as well, and the filter mix, which is literally like a dry wet of how much of this filter you want to add to your sound. And finally, if we jump into the middle here, you have the option for follow action, which follows the envelope, LFO, a curve control, and another curve control. And the curves, you can actually draw in your own shapes. So this is ability to modulate, and you can increase and decrease the rate there. And then you can start to, like with the macros, drag and drop these onto different parameters. So this is some really nice modulation. We can drag the LFO up here as well. So we're starting to add some movement to our sound, even more movement in both the negative and the positive, independently from each other. Down the bottom here of the LFO, you can see that we have the option to randomize, which means further more randomization of this very basic. If we just play the 808 by itself, that's what we originally started with. And now if we add even more randomization to our LFO modulation, don't forget, you do have the macros down the bottom, so you can further add them to different parameters, so that you can really start to automate this plugin. This really is a different take on distortion as opposed to other distortion plugins like Saturn and Trash, where it's all in multiband and everything is distorted in that band identically. This is distorting both the positive and the negative and adding in lots of different features of modulation in there as well, keeping both the positive and the negative independent of each other. It really is an exciting new tool, and I wish I'd tried it sooner. So that in itself is enough evidence for you to try it out and get your hands on it as well. The link below is in the description. It's Rift from Minimal Audio. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you got something from it, please consider hitting the like button. And if you would like to keep updated with more content from me, hit the subscribe and the notification bell and drop a comment, because comments help the YouTube algorithm and I would really appreciate it. So thank you so much for getting to this point in the video. If you would like to check out the Twitch streams and jump in the Discord, the link to those are below, as well as the almighty Rift plugin that we have just introduced in this video. Bye!